Have you ever had a grey hair pop through? Because it looks like I can swear I can see a little grey hair popping through over there.
No, I don't have any grey hairs.
Well, why does it look a bit white?
Are you serious?
White or grey or... I thought you would have ran with it, but Dee's just been putting some powder in his hair.
I was literally just about to call you the C word.
Really?
Yeah, that really offended me. Yeah, are you being serious?
No, I was joking. It was a lead-in to
that's not the way we normally start the show.
Your morning of panic when you ran out of hair product, or what do you like to use? Baby powder, and put it in your hair and makes it all stiff.
Well, firstly, welcome to dos&d Uncut, everybody.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're back. We've thank you. Sorry, you actually just scared me because I ran out of my milkman this morning and I didn't have any powder left, and I actually had to send one of the boys off. I said we're not recording until my hair's. It's not great, but I just needed some powder through it. I couldn't have it so flat. And unfortunately, the one I got, I told you this morning about the scales of the system, and this is a 2 out of 6, which is not the grip you want.
That's not strong, is it?
But you've speaking of hair, that's something you've...
I'm very self-conscious at the moment.
Been investigating.
I have. I've been investigating many websites around products and things that might be able to halt the hair loss. Because at the moment... I'm just very self-conscious.
You told me off during the week as well.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I trust his creative ability, and he has complete creative control when it comes to creating thumbnails and for our podcast. But I saw one thumbnail pop up from last week. I was so embarrassed.
Really? I didn't see. I promise I wouldn't have done it.
I've got a bad side. It's which side is it?
It's that side.
This side. Yeah. And it's
non-camera side.
It's non-camera side, which I've chosen this spot for that very reason.
Is that why?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funny how I've only noticed it really badly and right before probably in December, November.
Yeah.
And again, it's not that bad, but I'm just self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
Like anyone else who would be going through something or have similar worry, you get my drift.
And you've got health anxiety as it is, but now it's hair.
Well, that's not really worrying my health.
I was going to say now it's hair anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at some products. So
last Uncut, I think we spoke about my change in haircut. So
we talk about it in most Uncuts.
I know,
actually,
and I walked out very unhappy.
Yeah.
And that's because I noticed this more than
the funny thing is, you said to me this morning, I'm due for another haircut.
No, I'm due for another haircut because now I know what I want.
So you want to go shorter?
No, not shorter.
I think this is optimum length for you.
At the moment, I just feel like this is a bit long on the top.
No, I like it.
Or I need to buy some new product or something.
Yeah.
Ever had a magic before?
No, what's a magic?
Have you had a magic?
3/4 coffee about
really good.
Well, anybody listening, milkmanaustralia.com, and you can get I'm telling you, the best powder in town.
Why did you run out? Because it's so good.
No, well, I literally ran out, and then I didn't have time to replenish it because it's online, and I only realised this morning. So then I had to send Jared, and thank you, Jared.
So they do the powder. What do you call it? Texture.
Texture. It's great. It works a treat. Anyway, Jared went to the supermarket. We got not as good a product, but it'll do for today. But anyway, it's good to have Uncut, and we got a huge episode for today, don't we?
We do. No black eyes for you this week.
I did get a nice big hit on the weekend, but no black eyes, and it's a shame because I had a juicy black eye from the game.
Yeah, we'll throw it up actually.
You came in. Yeah,
you don't have to send me, but we'll throw it up.
You came along to watch me play round 1.
Yep.
At the old club. We're going to bring that up in a segment later on. Dos's venture down to his former club, and it's more just the
cashew farm.
I don't know if it's a celebrity factor Dos likes, but his eyes dart around, making sure he's getting noticed by everybody. But
it's not true.
We will talk about that a little bit later on.
That's that.
No. Just
that annoys me
again. That's a segment. It's a segment coming up a little bit later.
It's not true.
But thank you for coming down. But I did end up
here today or the footy.
That's the footy, and I got
a few of us.
A few of you came, but I got a juicy black eye. Unfortunately, it wasn't a recording day because it looked nice and tough.
It did.
But on the weekend, I got a nice one too. But unfortunately, no black eye.
And I got very badly sunburnt that day.
You did. You were peeling. You were peeling.
Mate, that was a snake peeling back layers.
How far back did it go? Did it hit your neck or anything?
It got onto my scalp. So
it got onto your scalp?
Yes, like it hit under my hair as well.
Wow.
But it was so bad that I didn't realise how bad it was. And then I went to work. I went to the toilet, started work at 9, went to the toilet at 11. And I looked in the mirror to wash my hands, and I was scaling. I was flaky and I was so embarrassed. And then anytime I touched my head, all these flakes would just come off.
Yuck.
It was pretty gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, also wanted to update everybody. I'm sure everyone's been, waiting a whole month to hear the outcome of this. But last Uncut, I mentioned I lost my Fitbit, and I was shattered. And I've been without it for 6 weeks. And yesterday might have been the most euphoric moment of my entire life. I've achieved some great things in this world, but not quite to the extent of
Well, it
what
was
happened
miraculous.
yesterday. You and I were on the phone we were on the phone for a couple of hours yesterday, planning today and doing a bit of work. And I decided I'd go for a little walk because I like to walk and talk. And you found this quite weird, but I pick leaves off trees when I walk and bushes. You don't? Do you do that, Bryce? Do you boys do it? No,
We're not children.
When I walk, well, see.
We're men.
By the way, I've actually been diagnosed with ADHD.
Officially?
Yes.
You have to do a proper test.
Yes, I know.
Did you pay for it? For a
No,
test?
okay. The psych.
So you haven't been diagnosed?
No, the psych said she's like, I'm almost certain. You can go do the test. This is what it, but then you go on I said, I don't want to go on medication. Okay. I actually enjoy, anyway. The reason I say that is because I'm always fiddling. I need to touch things, right? So I'm always.
How are you feeling after that diagnosis?
Fine. I expected it, to be honest, but.
No, seriously.
No, I expected it, but I said, what will the medication do? She said, well, it might just calm you down a bit. I said, I actually like the way I am, and I like that I need to do things all the time.
Well, you don't like, that's one thing I've always watched from afar and I've never understood, and that's because I don't have ADHD, but you can never sit and even just watch TV.
No.
You always have to be doing something
Need to have something in my
boring to you.
Need to have something in my hands when I'm watching TV.
Or someone next to you that you can touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or yourself in some cases.
But you also like to touch fences, don't you?
Yes.
While you're walking.
So I've got this habit. Every time I walk past a fence, I need to touch every fence. It's weird.
That really reminds me of when I was a kid.
Yeah, I still do it.
Yeah.
But when it's a picket fence, I like to roll my... Yeah, well, Bryce understands. I like to roll my hand amongst it. So anyway, I'm walking past a picket fence yesterday. I'm not kidding. Actually nowhere near my house. On the phone to you, and I felt a weird sensation on the tip of my finger. And I said to you, oh, it's a watch. I looked up. I could not believe it was my Fitbit. The one that I flipped my room inside out. I swore the dog swallowed it or something. I had no idea. And could you believe, 6 weeks later, sitting outside in the rain, hail and shine, I've got my watch back.
Never. Not joking. I've never heard you more excited about something.
Mate,
and we've been doing this show for 5 years, and we've interviewed some pretty cool people, but I've never heard that sound come out of your mouth ever. At that pitch.
You love this because you loved Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So you know when he finds a golden ticket and he runs home.
Actually, I saw a very, very funny meme yesterday about Charlie and Chocolate Factory. What's the Grandpa Joe?
Joe, yeah.
It said something along the lines of, What a great bloke Grandpa Joe is. He basically just sat in bed for 20 years and let his family look after him. He couldn't move. But as soon as there was a golden ticket to the chocolate factory, he jumped and leapt off. His legs worked suddenly.
Yeah, the Viagra kicked in. Yeah, no, 100%. Well, that scene where Charlie runs back, waving, that was me running. I ran from my house home to wash my watch and plug it in, and it all works. So I'm not wearing it today because it's charging. But anyway, just thought I'd bring that up.
Congrats, mate. Congrats.
Thank you, mate. Now, anything else happening in your world? Well, I mean, we've had Easter, we've had Anzac Day.
I've ate way too much chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a while since Easter now when this is aired. So hopefully I've dropped a few kilos since then. But nothing crazy in my world. I mean, I'm in the middle of a real nuffy Western Bulldogs
because they're winning
stage at the moment.
Yeah.
It's not because they're winning. When they're losing, I'm the same.
No, because I heard this statement yesterday. He said he needed 30 minutes to himself yesterday, Dos, and he said to his girlfriend, I need 30 minutes to myself and this is what I want. I don't want to talk for 30 minutes. I want to play FIFA and I want to listen to SEN. Now, in the middle of a day, I don't think, unless the Dogs are winning or not, that's if Dogs had got flogged on the weekend, I guarantee you're not clicking SEN.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. So you're happy with the Dogs, eh?
Yeah, I am. I'm happy with them.
Have you been? Yeah, you got off
twice.
You got off to the blocks. You haven't been for the last few weeks.
Well, it's been a bit hard. There was gather round and Easter. So, actually, that's something that happened recently. Garney's parents came down.
Oh, how was that?
From the Gold Coast or from Byron Bay. Yeah, it was really good, actually. It was really, really good. Enjoyed it. I was the chauffeur for the weekend.
Yeah?
I just drove the whole time.
And then you went. Actually, you ditched them all for WrestleMania. I heard.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How'd you get down there, by the way?
I caught the train. Can you believe?
You caught the train.
I caught the train.
Wow.
So
for WrestleMania.
And when I look back now, it's not sad, but it's because I wanted to spend the time with. We watched it live. We were going to Jai's mum's house.
Don't say we. I wasn't there.
No, but you were invited, and you know we were all quite a bit disappointed you weren't there. But basically, it was on Easter Monday.
Yeah.
Garney's family down.
Work day.
Well, it's public holiday. But yeah, I said to Jai, what time is it kicking off? And he goes, mate, we're kicking off at 9 o'clock.
9 in the morning.
And I'm in the city. I won't have a car to drive there. What time does that mean I have to get on the train? I was on the train at 7:15.
In a full John Cena kit.
No, I wasn't. No, Rey Mysterio.
Holding a wrestling belt.
Yeah, I was. I was holding a spinner belt. Good day. Plenty of natural confectionery.
How long did it kick on till?
Went for about 4 hours.
Far too long.
No, it was fine.
Really?
Yeah, we'll finish before 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
Yeah. So you missed out.
4 hours times 2.
We got some charcoal chicken.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, what we're going to do, guys, is we've got a big show, so we'll quickly run through. We're actually debuting a new segment today with a new partner. Having said that,
That is so good.
we're actually going to run a new segment, which is sponsored by our good friends at Rexel, which we'll talk about them a little bit later.
New friends.
Those that have listened to the last few interviews would have already heard this great confession booth segment. But you and I are going to confess our sins to one another.
Have you been into a confession booth before?
No, because I'm not a Catholic.
Oh, yeah. I have.
Well, you've confessed
I've confessed many things.
to do with the internet, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, one. I probably shouldn't share my
Probably
confessions. No, they're between me and the
God.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or the confession
but one.
I should confess them there between me and God, but I'm going to put it on
But
Melbourne's number one
I will
entertainment
share
podcast.
this because this is quite funny.
Go on.
And you know what? It's a young guy just trying to
make
find
his
his way
way.
in life
Yeah.
and learn. He's just learning.
Yeah.
And I would have been about 22, and I went into confession. And
This should be the segment.
oh yeah, true. Okay, let's.
There's a teaser for you.
Okay,
He's 22, young man, and he's going into our confession booth to confess later on. So we'll
Okay.
leave it at that. You've now speaking of Catholic, you were quite rattled by the Pope's death.
I was, yeah.
Pope George,
Pope Francis.
Francis.
Not Pope George. No, no.
But that rattled you, and that got you thinking, didn't it?
It did. Well, God rest Pope Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit sarcastic.
No, was it?
No, I'm just
No, was
joking.
Lovely.
It just got me thinking about celebrity deaths and how. Well, there was a few different routes I could have gone.
Yeah.
One, I think I said it to you this morning. I think
We're
this
with breakfast at Dawson. I think it's a bit dark.
I think it might be a bit dark, and the game was let's. How about I list off celebrities who, half are dead, half are alive, and you have to guess, if they're dead or alive. And then I thought, oh, that's a bit much.
Don't tell me the bloke from Willy
Quick one,
Wonka's still
Aaron
alive.
Carter, dead or alive?
I've never heard of him.
He's unfortunately passed.
Who is he?
He was sang the song. What was the famous song he sang? Aaron Carter.
Okay, well, he's dead.
Oh, gee.
Was there any surprises? Was there any Grandpa Joe's still kicking?
No.
No.
What was
Anyway,
it?
anyway, we digress.
It's a segment that isn't happening.
So we're not doing that segment.
No.
Instead, what are we doing?
Basically, we're going through celebrity death conspiracies.
Beautiful.
So we've got
Love
four
that.
of the biggest names who have passed away, and I'm not going to reel them off now, but I'm sure everyone could think of the biggest pop stars.
Yep.
Actually, are they all music? They're all music.
Yeah, they're the big ones.
They're all music. They're
So
all
we're
music.
going to talk about them.
There's four huge names. Have a think about what they are,
I reckon I know.
and we're gonna have a little discussion about whether these conspiracies have any
Merit.
Have any merit to them.
Well,
So
one
how
of
many
the boys
depth?
wanted under the under the celebrity deaths, a certain German man who might have escaped to Argentina as a conspiracy. We said, I don't think that young man.
Adolf.
Adolf. I don't think he goes under the celebrity category.
No.
I mean, very well known.
I think he's more monster category. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't want to
Yeah.
glorify that.
Yeah.
Now, because of the St Kilda because of the footy club,
yeah.
and you're heading up and going there and being
My big head, apparently.
yeah, you're making sure everybody shook your hand. We're going to have a
Except
look
one lady who very much have tried to avoid me.
we're going to look at wrong place, wrong times, and I've got some funny examples of people just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then we've gone to the audience too, finally, haven't we?
We have.
What are we asking them?
Basically, we're asking them, what are your social media pet peeves?
Oh,
'Cause
there's plenty.
something really pissed me off last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I wrote it down and I mentioned it today. I said, mate, I can't stand when people post this on their Instagram story. And then we started reeling off all these other ones, and we're like, gee, this could be a segment here. And we're talking about things that they're not bad. They're not a bad thing. It's not. If you're posting, I'm not getting
You're not
visibly
unfollowing.
upset. But I'm not unfollowing them. I'm probably not going to mute them either. But when I see them post, I go, oh, I'm not liking it. That's
So
for
we're going to
sure.
hear all about that very shortly.
Yeah. What's something off the top of your head, just quickly?
No. I've got mine, but
Okay,
I'll keep them
all right.
keep it for the segment.
All right.
Chow Ming.
Sorry to interrupt this great episode of Dos&d Uncut.
It's time for a word from our sponsor.
Fleet Plan Hire Solutions.
Solutions.
It's your favourite time of the month, and for some of you, your favourite time of the episode, because this show doesn't happen without the great folk at Fleet Plan Hire Solutions.
What do they do?
They're doing earth-moving DOS, so we're talking the bridges, the tunnels, the biggest projects in the state and in the country that don't get done without Fleet Plan Hire Solutions. Simple
Truck
as
hire,
that.
plant hire, fleet hire,
Yep.
every bit of machinery you need, they've got it.
They've got it. Head to fph.com.au to find out more today. And now, let's get back into your favourite time of the month.
Dos and Uncut.
We've talked about it before, but you're absolutely terrified of Michael Jackson. That photo of him. What's the photo?
Don't tell me this is coming up again. We've done this in episode 200. It's a mugshot.
Yeah, it's a mugshot. Nah, I was just getting you kind of a bit antsy.
Don't worry, I don't need a seat because it's so clearly
antsy,
pictured
but-
in my line.
Can you think of a celebrity death? Well, I started off with this. We talked off at the intro. This segment's going to be about conspiracies of a few key celebrity deaths. So I won't go through all four of them. But what's one celebrity death that I know we've talked about it before, but maybe maybe shocked
reiterate.
you a little bit and it really affected you?
Well, it didn't affect me, but the one that you remember where you were was for our generation was Michael Jackson. I'm sure generations prior was JFK and Elvis and John Lennon's another big one. But no.
What about Steve Irwin?
Yeah, I remember.
That was a big
I remember
one.
that. I remember that too. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. I'll never forget that.
Nah, it didn't affect me too much, Copes.
Danny Frawley.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that day.
Yeah. I mean, that's more recent.
we
but
could probably list off a lot of them.
yeah. How many more? Yeah. How much that? Shane Warne.
Shane Warne.
That was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, Warney.
Yeah.
Princess Di.
Yeah.
That rattled me. No, it didn't. I was only 2 years old.
Warney, that one.
Yeah, that was
that was
nasty.
weird.
That
I
was
woke up to that.
That was a horrible one.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
Yeah, so... But yeah, Michael Jackson for me, and I'm sure that's where we're going to start.
about-
Michael Hutchins rattled me too.
Yeah, Michael Hutchins. Yeah, that was well, were you born then?
No, just a story rattled me a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, the cause of death. Still a bit confused.
Google it if you don't know.
Yeah.
You can make your own mind up.
Michael Jackson was a big one. And
Yes.
he's one of the few that I've got down.
Yes.
So I'm going to go through. We've got four names, four massive pop stars.
Are you suggesting that they might not really be dead, Wayne?
I'm not saying that, but
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Trust me, go and listen to our conspiracy theory episode back. What number was that?
Dos, it wasn't a conspiracy theory episode. Dos just wanted to tell us about the JFK
I
assassination.
watched a documentary on the JFK assassination and thought I knew everything about it. And let me tell you, when the record button was red, I crumbled.
What possessed you that day?
Don't know. But let's go through them. And I want to hear what your thoughts are about the conspiracy. And could it potentially be any truth to it?
Just before we dive in, this is what intrigues me about this: is it's the fandom is so much that the people that genuinely believe these conspiracies, they love these icons so much that they can't let go that they're actually dead.
That's exactly right.
And they're
That's
just
what it is.
clutching at straws in the hope that they're still alive. And some of these, I'm sure we're going to learn, are going on like 50 years.
I know.
Anyway, Michael.
So Michael Jackson passed away in 2009.
Speaking of conspiracies, was he killed or was he...
I think he was killed.
I think he was killed too.
Yeah, so passed away in 2009. We'll never forget the day getting the bus to school and finding it out. But there's a conspiracy that he faked his death to escape fame and legal troubles, because there was lots of legal troubles.
Cash.
Well, cash. Yeah, exactly right. So
Broke.
now there's a viral video which I'd never seen till just now.
Is this going to scare me?
No, it won't scare you.
Yeah.
Allegedly shows Michael Jackson getting out the back of a coroner's van.
I think I've seen this, but
Hit play, Sammy.
go on, Samuel.
It's odd.
Is this the day he died?
Yeah,
So that's
that's the coroner van.
oh,
Jumps out.
that actually looks pretty convincing. To be fair,
Where would he be hiding though?
the only thing I would suggest to that though is that could be filmed at any time.
That's what I thought.
With anybody, it's like Bigfoot. You know, you could just put a costume on.
Today's day and age, people will do anything to get a view.
Yeah, I mean, body shape looks pretty convincing, but I've heard so many theories about
Well,
Michael
what's
Jackson.
something else you've heard?
Well, there's a lot of, you know, Michael Jackson seen in a movie theater, Michael Jackson seen in Argentina as a woman, Michael Jackson, because he was actually bald. Did you know that? Yeah, he was bald. It
No
was
way.
It was a wig that he wore.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, I'm dead
Is there
serious.
photos of that?
There is. There
Sammy?
actually, it all came out. It all came out when he died. There was
Hey,
this
really?
hot- so
Michael
this-
Jackson's bald apparently.
So Michael Jackson, here's something for you and the listeners. This is going off track a little bit. Michael Jackson was having an affair with another man. Surprise, surprise! In Las Vegas, and he would take off his head and everything, his hair,
for this guy.
and they'd go and meet. This guy came out
Oh,
and
so
told the
people
story.
wouldn't-
So he came after he died. He said, "I was having an affair with Michael Jackson in Las Vegas. We would meet secretly in a hotel room. He was a bald man. Blah 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 blah." But
He's
he's
saying Michael was bald.
yeah, he was never seen in public. But there would be no photos of him seen in public. But I'm pretty sure when he died, it all came out that he was bald.
On Michael as well.
Yeah. We could do a whole podcast.
Do you remember
on it.
watching the memorial, the live? Not, I think it was live, and it was a big show. It was
Yeah.
a massive show.
I remember the
I'll never
kids.
forget Usher
Yeah.
singing "Gone Too Soon" actually, and he was touching the coffin and walking along touching the coffin. But there's always been those. Well, it wouldn't be a rumor, but it actually probably would be true, which I find a bit weird as well. Is that his body wasn't actually in there?
I don't think it would be for a funeral anyway, would it? For a big funeral on TV, would you put a body in there?
What's the point of having the coffin though?
Well, the coffin just is a symbol.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if they'd put, but there was a lot of theories that day that there was 2 vans and this, that, and
Yeah.
different things. But let's just break it down one step further. If let's say it's true, right? Or let's say he tried to. How if you're Michael Jackson's level of fame, how do you actually go ahead? Yeah, but the point is he might not have had enough. So you reckon in plastic surgery, Bryce? So you reckon it's possible he's faked his death? Do you believe he faked his death, Bryce? Boys just said, plug in the mic, lads.
Yeah. Don't talk unless you want to plug it in. Honestly.
They basically said that with people like Jeffrey Epstein that could cover up all his troubles with the amount of money, surely Michael could do something similar, especially when he's not afraid of plastic surgery. I get it's
Did
possible.
you watch Leaving Neverland?
Yeah, very hard watch.
Yeah, it is very hard. Next one. One of your favourites.
So you're saying he's dead or alive?
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's
Yeah,
unfortunately
dead as a doorknob.
in hell.
Wow.
No, sorry. Well, mate, you're touching children.
Oh yeah, no. Oh well, I agree, but I
Yeah.
agree that he's in hell. I don't agree with what you said. Yeah.
About
Please move on.
Paul McCartney is the next one.
My favourite Beatle.
Yeah.
Seen him live. So
George Harrison's mine.
So you're saying he's actually. What are you saying the theory is? 'Cause
Well,
he's
the
alive.
theory is no, he's clearly alive.
Yeah.
And this is where I would have stumped a few people. And I didn't know. You're the one who actually told me about this conspiracy, I reckon,
it's a big
years
boy
ago.
one.
Is Paul McCartney actually died in a car crash in 1966. And he was replaced by someone else, a lookalike, named Billy Shears.
Which there's a bit of a look.
So Billy's on the right,
So
Paul's
guys,
on the left.
again, if you list,
That's right. So
So-
this is post 1966.
so if you guys are listening, head to YouTube now and you can see what we're seeing. Basically, we're looking at 2 photos post. One's pre
Left is
1966,
pre-66, one's post-66.
and
And how different, like
the head shape's different.
the head shape's different, the eyes a little bit
Yep.
different,
nose
nose is different. And then let's go to Billy Shears
Oh, there's actually a person called
That's
Billy.
him.
Oh, right.
on the right.
Now, this is going to be quite nuffy what I'm about to say, but I'm a big Beatles fan, as you
Yep.
are. Billy Shears is in the song Sgt. Pepper's. Oh, sorry, in the album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart
Which
Club
was
Band.
one of the first ones, wasn't it?
No, so that would have been the first album after this whole conspiracy.
Yep.
And on the front cover of the Beatles album, there's a funeral, and there's the old
Oh, yeah,
Beatles,
it is
and there's
too.
a new Beatles, and it looks like it actually. If you look at, maybe get it up, Sammy, quickly. Get up Sgt. Pepper's. Just type in
album.
Sgt. Pepper's album cover, and I can show you all what I'm referring to here. So Sammy gets it up.
It's a creepy album cover.
So zoom it right in. So there's a lot of famous people in this album cover, and then on the left you've got the old Beatles. So
Keep
that's
zooming
like
in. Keep zooming in.
that's like the suit and tie hair
Yep.
Beatles.
Yep. That's
On-
the 60s Beatles.
Yeah. Well, and then the next
50s?
one is their like colourful
Yep.
moustache at a funeral site. If you zoom down a little bit there, please, Samuel.
Lower.
Keep going lower. Now, see under the word Beatles, see that yellow bit of writing?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it says Paul ? Kind of. You kind of have
Where's the question mark?
at the very end. So it looks like PAUL ?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't believe this, but that's the theory, right?
Interesting.
And then at the start of one of the first albums on the song is they introduce Sgt. Pepper's as a band. This is a new band. And then they say, let's introduce Billy Shears. and that starts off a great song called yeah.
That's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember the song name now, but it's the start of the song.
And there's obviously clues hidden in different Beatles songs. There's
another
another album cover as well. So this is the Abbey Road album cover. And there's a conspiracy.
You've walked along that.
I have.
Wayne.
But I didn't walk barefoot like Paul is in this photo.
Why is he barefoot?
And well, that's another conspiracy. Is it's interpreted as a funeral procession. So
really?
So he's barefoot. The other three aren't, and he's walking. So they're all left foot forward. He's right foot forward. So he's the one out of the four that's out of time.
See, and
that's looking way too into
I just go, they're crossing the road, quick photo.
Me too.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, barefoot is a bit odd.
Yeah. But you know what? You can dive in, and if people are actually interested, you can go and dive. You can look at all the lyrics. You can look at all the album covers. There's millions of supposedly clues. I don't think he's dead, Wayne.
One other thing.
Oh,
you mentioned Sergeant Pepper's.
Yep.
Basically, a patch on Paul's Sergeant Pepper uniform, which you might be able to get it back up, Sammy. There we go. So zoom in on Paul's. He's in the blue. There's an OPD initial, OPD. It might not be able to see it on his.
What does OPDs mean?
Officially pronounced dead.
Does it actually mean that? I didn't know that.
Apparently.
Really?
Yep.
There you go. That's interesting. I would suggest that they probably heard rumours and played it up, maybe, or it's just completely coincidental. But I've seen the man in concert, and I believe it's him.
I still regret not seeing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so are you believing
Hell no,
this?
I don't believe that at all.
No, so Paul's alive.
Paul's alive and well, and
he'll be on the show very soon.
Sleeps in cash. Next one. I've never been a big hip hop music lover. I don't hate it, but never really grew up with it. My dad wasn't listening to
neither was mine.
To hip hop.
We're classic white boys.
Yeah, we are. So Tupac.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Again, when you said that earlier, I was a bit confused until Sammy said, "Yeah, it's an intro to one of his tracks."
Great song.
What song is it?
Hit 'em up.
Hit 'em up. How does that go?
It's a diss. I'm not gonna. I gave you guys. There's a lot of f-bombs in it, and there's a lot of words I definitely can't say. But no, it's a great song. And I'm sure this is where it's all going to come in. So, and this is I like this because when you actually dive into the world of hip hop, I didn't know this. So Tupac and Big E, they were good friends in the East Coast. Tupac took over the West Coast, California. Big E stayed on.
So Big E's Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls. He stayed in like the New York region. So it was East versus West. And they literally would drive by and try to shoot each other and all their gangs.
Yeah, okay.
And so this song that I just referred to, it's literally just telling him how he's going to kill him, basically.
Yep. So basically there's conspiracy that he's faked his death as well in 1996 and is alive, possibly residing in Cuba or elsewhere. And then Sammy's found this. So there's Tupac sightings since his death in 96. Wow. So Los Angeles, Wall Street,
Can you zoom
Boston.
in, please, Sammy? I want to have a look at those photos.
So let's go to the earliest one. So Cuba 2004 sighted. So that's obviously
that looks like him in 2014.
It's just the back of his head.
Cuba.
Bryce, you just worry about the camera. We got Cuba 2004.
A bald man. Oh, it's Tupac.
New Jersey 2017. Boston 2014. Wall Street 2011. Somalia 2018. Sweden 20. Actually, that looks pretty close.
The only thing that my only immediate question is he doesn't look like he hasn't looked like he's aged.
I know.
He looks like he's shots from these 90s albums.
And there'd be some cracking impersonators.
Yeah, and that's the irony. Is everybody in the world has a doppelganger.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
But the funniest one in there is that Cuba signing. It's just there's a bald man, and they're like, "That's Tupac." It looks like could be because that's Michael Jordan.
Like a bald African American male. Could just put that bandana on their head, and if he's got a bit of like a goatee, I should say.
You'd think after 20 odd years, if he was alive, he would age a little bit.
Yeah,
and he's not aging.
Yeah,
20 years.
The first artist that came to my mind when I saw the back of that head, Seal.
It looks like Seal. Yeah.
Again,
I'm not. I don't think. I think
my answer to all of these will be: well, if they were still alive. Why are they hidden? Why are they hiding? Why aren't they
people can't
somewhat in the news or being talked about or I don't know. I just think if these people were still alive,
Because
we
it's
would know.
bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And the last one is probably nearly my favorite artist ever,
Yep.
and that is Elvis Presley.
Ah, yes,
So
king.
there's plenty on Elvis, and a few more came out around
Wow.
the movie that came out a few years ago. But basically, there's claims that Elvis faked his death in 1977 to live a private life away from the spotlight. Which to live a private life away from the spotlight, faking your own death is very extreme. I mean, you can live a private life away from the spotlight without faking your
People
own
have
death.
done it, like ABBA. They went and just went recluse. But I think Elvis.
He was so
He
huge.
was so big. I don't think we can comprehend, because we didn't live through it, how big he actually was. And I think if he said, "Oh, guys, look, I just want to go live anywhere. I want to go live in the forest or in Iceland, wherever he
He'd be
wants to go,"
found, and yeah,
it would still be mauled.
yeah, that's a good point. So there's been a few alleged sightings. So this one,
Las Vegas every week.
what was this one, Sammy? Oh, yes. So so Graceland, I've been to Graceland, went to
Yeah.
Memphis on a family trip to America, and we went to Memphis, saw Graceland. It was amazing. So Graceland, if no one knows, that's basically Elvis's residence.
Yep.
And it's amazing. It's a fucking mansion, and it's a huge estate. It's so big, and it's now one of the it's probably nearly one of the biggest tourist attractions in the States.
I need to go.
But they obviously have security guards and maintenance people that upkeep it, or
Yep.
keep it. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Upkeep it.
Yep.
And this guy here on the left, it looks a bit like Santa Claus.
I was about to say, it looks like
There's a
Moral
real
Santa.
conspiracy that this groundskeeper is him.
It's just
Well, hey, mate, he's wearing sunnies for one.
exactly.
And he's got a hat on.
and it's a bearded bloke. I mean, and hang on, Elvis dies in 1977. How old was Elvis when he died? 40 something.
Yeah, in his 40s.
And when was this sighting? Did you say? Let's just do the maths for a second.
When was that sighting? Yeah.
Elvis, it must be.
He wouldn't be that old.
How old would Elvis be now? Can you also find that out too, just out of interest?
He'd be in his 90s, I think.
So he'd be in his 90s.
So the Elvis groundskeeper refers to the recurring speculation that Elvis Presley faked his death in 1977 as being living as a groundskeeper at Graceland or in other locations. Several instances of this speculation have occurred, including 2016 sighting of a similar-looking man working as the groundskeeper in Bakersfield, California. Where's Bakersfield?
California, mate.
So what? That's just a town, is it?
Oh, sheeps.
And then there was another one which I find very, very funny and I'm a big fan of this movie. I'd never heard of this until doing, but there's a real belief that an extra in the Home Alone movie is Elvis,
Elvis.
and that's him. So basically, you've got
I mean, I like the theory. He's
Mrs.
hiding
McAllister, the
hiding
mum
in
of
plain
Kevin,
sight.
and if you can zoom in, Sammy, please. There's a real.
Yeah, it looks
If
a
you
bit.
can see his eyes,
Yeah, it looks a bit like him.
there's a little bit of a, and then they've put a beard on what Elvis would look like with a beard on the left.
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for anybody that really hopes this is all true, but I've seen blokes that look like that in real, like just every day.
Yeah.
And look, again, it's a bit of fun, but just think about it. Just think logistically. He's got a family. Now, let's say
And his daughter's now passed away.
but let's just say he lived, right? Let's say
Priscilla.
he lived, even if he lived for
No,
another
Priscilla's his wife.
10 years, right? Lisa Ann.
Lisa Ann's his daughter.
Married to
Lisa
Michael-
Marie, sorry.
Lisa Marie married to Michael Jackson.
Correct.
Yeah, it's all intertwined.
Yeah.
But let's just say he lives even for 10 or 15 more years. He would have to say to somebody he'd have to tell somebody that it's him. And like, it just, you can't contain it. When you're that level of fame, you couldn't contain it. If somebody told you, hey, I faked my death, whether they're famous or not, would you tell your girlfriend?
Probably not.
What, you don't think you'd let
Well, I don't know. What? Like, if you
would let it slip to you'd have to
Yeah,
let it
you
slip
would.
to somebody, and they would let
Well,
slip
what
to
a
somebody.
lonely life.
Yeah, it's just totally. How did young Elvis go?
There's obviously the cardiac arrest, I think, is the main thing.
Was it actually on the old Dunning?
On the toilet?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's the rumor, is that he got very unwell,
Yeah,
was very overweight.
yeah.
Even if you go to...
It's better to say, everyone go watch
That
the
was
Unchained.
exactly what I was going to refer
Don't
to.
play it because last week
It'll
by
make
playing
me
the
tear
videos-
up.
And last month we straight away got an email.
Did we
from
actually?
YouTube straight away saying no.
Okay, yes.
But,
Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody,
That's his last live performance.
and he's
not well.
he's struggling. If you
Sweating
want
and-
yeah, it doesn't look good.
But he sings it beautifully, I think.
Yeah.
Some some obviously
I
disagree.
think if you listen
One-
carefully, it
la-
sounds like
as we finish this segment, one pop star or celebrity today that is so huge, their death would almost impact the world more than any of these.
Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
Bieber, or maybe not Bieber.
Bieber, I don't think anymore.
Who's really big?
Taylor Swift for
Who's
sure.
the biggest at the moment?
Harry
Probably
Styles,
Taylor Swift, Harry Styles,
Ed Sheeran,
Ed Sheeran,
Eminem.
Eminem.
Yeah.
No, Eminem would be big, I think.
John Cena,
John Cena,
The Rock,
The Rock.
Morgan Freeman.
We could list them all day.
I mean,
Who?
Timothy Chalamet.
Don't know who that is.
He's the guy who's in the new Willy Wonka. He's
But
Bob
the fact
Dylan.
you had to explain that to me means probably not to the same.
Same.
Anyway,
So-
we could list them all day, couldn't we?
We could.
Great
But,
segment, Dos. I
hope you
enjoyed that.
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that. Okay, guys, we're very excited to debut a new segment with a brand new partner. As well, we keep saying, you would have already heard it on the interviews, but Rexel Dos have jumped on board. And before we get into the confession booth, which I'm very excited to confess to one another some of our sins, but let's talk a little bit about our mates at Rexel.
Well, firstly, if you don't know Rexel, you're living under a rock.
You
Because
are.
they are Australia's leading electrical wholesaler, and they've been going for over 100 years.
That's right, Dos. With an extensive product offering, the power of trusted brands, and competitive pricing, they've actually grown to 127 branches across the country.
Now, I'm hearing a couple of little whispers.
Yes, what are you hearing, Dos?
Well, they've actually rewired and revamped their app,
A
haven't
world
they?
famous app. They have. They've now, if you get the app, you can enjoy a streamlined homepage, explore products with offline catalogs, scan items directly into your basket using their barcode scanner, and Dos, discover a range of innovative, time-saving features.
Now, guys, download the app on Apple or Google before May 31st.
Yes.
Place a single order for Clipsal Schneider branded products totaling of $300 plus GST through the app and receive a 7-piece Bizline screwdriver set and a bonus Clipsal iconic screwdriver. Now, D, you want that, don't you?
I do. I'm not even a tradie, but I do want that. So, guys, if you're listening, if you are a tradie, jump onto Rexel, jump onto the app, download it, have a look through, and of course, if your hubby or your wife, anyone that's
Any mates that are Sparkies?
mate, let them know about Rexel and get onto that offer before May 31. Now, the confession booth, Dos. This is we're calling it
The shocking confession booth.
Now, why are we calling it shocking confessions?
Well, we're being clever. Electrical, slang.
It just adds up. Now, what we've done, as you guys would have heard, we've asked our guests to come on the show to confess something to us. This can be a story. This can be something funny. It could be a guilty pleasure. Whatever it is, we want to confess something new. Now, for us, we want to do it on Uncut. We've done this show for 5 years, 250 plus episodes. We've basically confessed everything there is to confess. So it's very hard. We hope we can come up with a bit of shock factor. But you said in the intro, a little bit of a teaser, that you went to a real confession booth when you were 22 years
That's
old.
right.
What did you confess to?
I don't know if I want to actually even share it now, because now that I've thought about the connection to the brand, I don't want it to be a bad look on the brand.
No, but it's a confession.
The confession. Okay. Well,
This
I've
won't
got
be clipped up.
Okay, well, I've got a few confessions. One is, I think I've shared it before. Actually, I've got one confession that happened the other night.
Go.
Oh, this is actually kind of embarrassing.
Well, go on. Start with the 22-year-old one.
So the 22-year-old one went into a real confession booth.
Yep.
Lovely, lovely church. In Camberwell it was, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And it was a massive
Stop stalling.
sorry.
Tell us a confession.
a massive congregation, I was going to say. Went into the booth, younger priest actually.
Yeah.
And I confessed. I said, Father, I think I've been watching a little bit too much of explicit material
Not the good stuff.
online, and please forgive me.
Yep.
He said, he chuckled to himself.
The priest giggled.
Yep. And he said, mate, he goes, okay, you need to, what do they call it? Repent.
You need to repent?
But what does the repent mean again?
Well, you have to repent. Yeah.
I need to repent.
You need to repent.
Okay, you need to do 10 Hail Marys.
Yep.
I need to read the rosary. I need to speak the rosary or pray the rosary, I should say.
Yeah.
10 times.
Yep.
Say that's my repent. But then he looked at me and he just said, "Don't be so hard on yourself, mate. It's okay."
Yeah. Great bloke.
And I thought, I'm going to go watch it again.
The best week of my life that night.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. I'd love to. Like, do they have a duty?
I must say,
It's
can
like
I just say, it's the weight just lifts off your shoulders when you go into confession.
Well, I was going to say,
you just feel great after
it's
it.
like a psych. When you go see a psych and you tell them stuff, they say, just letting you know, if we find out you're doing, like, we have to tell somebody if you're doing something against the law, for example. If you went into a confession booth in a Catholic church and said, I've done something really bad against the law or something, do they keep it to themselves or do they report?
I genuinely wouldn't know.
Anyway, this isn't a religious segment, so but did you want to quickly confess? Now for the dos&d, it's going to be a bit more upbeat. Did you want to confess
Well,
what you did the
someone
other night?
mentioned earlier, I said I got Uber Eats for dinner last night.
Yeah.
And there's obviously like a few weeks back or a couple of months back, the McFlurry situation where I ordered 2 McFlurries in 2 days and
Yeah.
Uber Eats cost me $40. Yeah, ridiculous. Well, the other night, and I even lied to Garni about this. Okay. I went up the street quickly 2 nights ago just to get something quick for dinner from the local IGA. And I went in there, grabbed a couple of stuff for the meal, and then I thought, I feel like a little sweet treat. So I saw in the pastry or section there was a little blueberry or apple blueberry pie, like a real good, like homemade, not homemade, but made by the baker at the IGA. And I thought, I'm buying that. And then I got Garni a Kit Kat. And the Kit Kat was like $2, but the pie was like, say, $6 or something. And I just demolished the apple pie on the way home, chucked it in the rubbish, and then I just said, I got you a Kit Kat. And I said, yeah, I smashed a Kit Kat on the way home.
Oh.
So I didn't have a Kit Kat. I had something bigger. But I when I stopped and I just thought to him, I'm like, wait, that's disgusting. You should be disgusted.
I'm looking forward to, as we confess more and more over the next few months, what comes out. So one thing we tried to do for this is, like we've said, we've told all our story. We've actually confessed everything to you guys already. So I was trying to think of is there anything I can confess to Dos that you might not be aware of? And maybe you can have a think if you've ever done something when we lived together, when we traveled together, if there's anything I don't know that you did, maybe you
there's
ate
a
my
couple
food,
things.
Made my food. Oh, so you've got something. But I asked the boys, I went to my mates and said, is there anything you can help me with because we've tricked Dos over the years. We've told him fibs, and he believes it.
I'm gullible.
You're gullible, and we couldn't think of anything, but there was one thing we're going to confess today. It's going to ruin it. It's going to ruin it for next year, unfortunately, and all the years in advance. But it's time to probably tell you the truth. Now, this is actually a conspiracy against you in our friendship group that's been going on now for about 3 years. Dos has been notorious that he doesn't pay, doesn't like, parting with money. And when we do things like footy tipping and stuff like that, at the end of the year, when Dos is out of the competition, he doesn't care anymore. It's hard to go and get that $20 that he owes. Where all the boys, the rest of them just, here you go, mate. Here's my bank details. Just flick it in. You're always chasing.
I think
Dos.
that's more previous years.
You're all chasing Dos for money. Well, it is previous years because we actually came up with a bit of a lie that we've told you, that we said we're all putting our money in prior to the season into a kitty. There's only $20 in there.
You assholes. So it's only my money.
It's only your money because we're so scared. We're so afraid that you won't pay up at the end of the year that we're like, no, we're not doing the tipping till everyone pays. We all just pay at the end of the year. We just pay. But we're so scared.
Well, I
of
paid
debt.
last year.
Yeah, but that was because we paid in advance. We're so afraid of debt collecting, Dos, that we've
No, but that's 2 seasons in a row I've paid before the season started.
yeah.
So
but we don't.
So
we
you did it last year too?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, because we know we'll just pay, but we don't want to debt collect you. So
That's a bit cheeky.
there's a confession. Is that a good one?
Yeah,
for
you feel better?
you? Well, no, because now next year when we do the footy tipping, Dos might not pay in advance, and we're going to debt collect again. But anyway, there's a confession.
I thought you might have had something a bit more, like something.
Oh, so is that not good enough?
No, it was funny, but I thought surely Jai, there might be something.
Well, the only other thing Jai gave me is one night. This is a bit cheeky too. We had a sleepover, me, you, and Jai at Jai's house. I don't know if you know this story. Jai said he's probably forgotten, but it's not a great story. Jai and I we were freshly 18, and Jai and I got a little bit hooked on the old pokey machines. We like to go and have a little slap. And
I think I do know this.
we were so embarrassed that we wanted to go and have a gamble at like midnight at the local Somerville pub. Dos fell asleep on the couch. As soon as he fell asleep, we wrote a text message to Dos saying, "Hey mate, if you wake up, we've actually gone to we're just at the pub, and we'll be back soon." Blah blah blah. So we go off. We play pokies. This is pathetic. We're 18. We come back 2 hours later. you're fast asleep in the exact same position. We pick up the phone and we just delete the text message.
From my phone.
Yeah, so we just thought, well, Dos doesn't need to know that we have a gambling addiction. So we just deleted it and it never got...
That's a good one. I don't think I did know that.
And the only other little confession I need to make is I did something quite nerdy the other day. I downloaded AFL Live 2004 on the computer, and I've we had a couple of late nights playing season mode as Carlton. I'm just qualified for finals playing Essendon. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that is embarrassing, mate.
So fucking embarrassing.
You were giving it to me the other day for contemplating buying AFL Evolution on PlayStation 5.
That's
You said, mate, that is pathetic.
That's a shit game.
No, AFL 2005 on computer?
2004.
4. Even worse.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, don't touch my laptop. Don't touch my laptop. Talk about screen time.
Everyone jokes about me being a big kid. You're the kid. You're the child.
So
that's
my
hilarious.
confession. Anything else you want to confess when we lived together? Nothing to do with brownies or sex or nothing?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Nothing to confess.
I think we've had enough of my confessions today.
Nothing happened?
Oh, well, there was once. That was a good one.
I love baiting him in.
Now, at the time, it would have only been maybe a second. I think it was the first time she'd been over to our house.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
first or second.
Ex-partner.
Yeah.
And
In the
this is
dating phase.
in the dating phase, very early, and she came over, and I could smell. We kind of kept our distance. I'd stay in my room when you had someone over, and you were having a little at-home date, obviously, and
Making a bit of noise.
and she liked to be in the kitchen, and she made a little batch of brownies, or it was like a little.
She bought a because
It was a Betty Crocker mix. I mean, it wasn't that expensive. D goes on about like it's this big famous expensive mix.
No, she made it. She said that it was I bought it online and it's come in and we're gonna make it and whatever.
Okay, if she bought it online, maybe that's a bit. Maybe it was expensive. It wasn't.
Because it was gluten free. I don't know. Anyway, that's not the point of the story.
Essentially, well, you already know the confession, but I'm confessing to everyone else.
Her and I make a brownie, right? Well, I watch.
Batch.
She makes a big batch of brownies that we're going to have as a dessert. We go into my room for
It's in a big baking tray. So imagine almost a big chocolate cake, and it's going to be chopped into brownies.
So we go in, we make it, and then we come out and we let it bake or whatever. We go into my room, we come back out,
Let
we
it cool
check,
down.
and it's really hot. So we said, we need to give it another 10 minutes or so. Go back into my room, and then we come out.
What happened?
Do you want me to say?
Yeah, go.
Well, I came out of my room. We came out. We're very excited to try these brownies we'd made, and there's a massive chunk missing. That Dos, who's met this woman, this is the second time he's met her, had the confidence to start slicing it up himself, and I'll not only will I wait for them and have a piece, I'll just help myself and begin. And starts eating it. She was shocked.
Tell me what the thing was.
She was shocked. She couldn't believe. She's like, I'm just shocked. She just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a bit, and then I went back to the room, and I'm like, that was nice. I had a bit more.
So it was
and then I
quite
went back a
nice.
third time.
Just go back
Yeah,
three
I went.
We hadn't had a piece yet.
Nah. It's like the 30% rule. It's like, I'll take 30%. I'll take a little bit, and then I just couldn't help myself. And I
Yeah.
just kept getting more and more.
That's
and then it
funny.
ended up being 50%. Like I ate probably
50%.
Well, not-
No,
oh,
you wouldn't.
no.
You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have
I
done
don't
that.
know.
You
No.
wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll back you in there.
Okay,
Can you
then-
eat Garni's burrito once as well?
yeah. That was a good confession too. Anyway, they're
Anyway,
all
this is
boring.
guys, this is what you got to look forward to over the next few months. We're going to be confessing some of these great stories. And,
Thank you, Rexel.
Thank you, Rexel. Okay, guys, off the top of the show, we said that, Dos, you very generously, and I appreciate this, thank you for coming and supporting me at my first game of footy this year.
No worries, mate. Loved it.
It was great for you to
Great.
see you down there. A club that you were part of for a little while last year, we would have mentioned on the show.
You had the ball on a string.
Didn't.
Second half, you did.
Second half, yeah. A bit of quiet in the first half. Anyway, you came in and thank you for that. But we were looking forward to, because this was the return of the king, ladies and gentlemen. Dos hadn't been at the club for 9 months or so, probably since he left.
For the
maybe.
lemon and sauce, yes.
And the boys were, and honestly, some of the boys always
Let's
ask about
preface
you.
that by saying they were asking me to come down.
They always, I don't know if anyone directly asked
No,
you,
but
but
no, I don't think so either.
but a lot of them said,
When's he coming back?
and I said, a lot of them said excited for the weekend, and we're talking, and we're expecting a decent crowd. And then I said to a few of the boys, "You're coming down." They were really excited to see you. But what we love about Dos in a public place is he's got the old darting eyes. I've never seen a man that when even you just have a coffee with Dos at a
I don't know
coffee
where
shop.
you get this from because
No, it's just true. It's just true.
yeah.
Even when we had a face reader on the show, Alan came
Yep.
on the show. That was the first thing he picked up. He said, "You're always looking."
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So when we go into a cafe, you're talking to him. You don't know if Dos is listening because his eyes he's looking at he scans around.
You don't know what, AFL player you might notice from the 90s in the cafe.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But how was the
yeah.
experience anyway? You enjoyed coming
Loved
down?
it. Loved it.
Had a lot of chats?
Yeah. Oh, not to be honest, not heaps, but it was just good to see some faces and say g'day to a few of the boys again. And
I tell you what, in all seriousness, not taking the piss, so many of them have come up and said it was great to see you. They all wish you were at the club. So hopefully we'll see you over the course of the year.
would love that.
love
Let them know that I wish I was still at the club too.
And you'll come back and do the same job for free, I heard.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Because there's someone already kind of doing that for free,
Yeah, okay.
apparently.
I don't know if it's free.
No, but he train the way you play.
Anyway.
And keep the talk up.
We move on. Now, the point of this segment, though, is we thought Dos going into... Look, and I admire you because I wouldn't do that. I don't have the balls to go into an environment that I wouldn't feel comfortable, personally.
I wasn't on my own, though. I had a couple
No,
of
I know,
mates
but
come
like,
down
I didn't even go to a school reunion because I don't feel comfortable. I left the school early. I just feel like I'm uncomfortable. So we thought we'd have a look at the wrong place, wrong time. And to preface this segment, I've just found a few little instances on the internet of people being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I want to start off with a personal anecdote of a childhood friend of mine. I'm not going to name names, so don't say his name. But I went to primary school and I was best mates with a young man at the same age as me. And he went through 6 months of the most unluckiest thing I've ever seen. So this is just to give you a series of events for this guy over 6 months. Number one, we have a high school hockey team.
Hockey.
Number one, we have a primary school hockey team, right? We all try out. We get picked to represent the school in hockey. Random, right? First game playing, somebody goes to whack the hockey ball. He's in the wrong place, smashes his teeth. 2 teeth knocked out, okay? Unlucky. Not funny, just unlucky, okay? His parents pay a lot of money in dental, go and get it fixed up.
Hope they had private health.
And then we start to roll into the summertime. And we're playing local cricket at the Murray Cricket Club. And this young man's fielding out in the deep. And there's a beautiful shot goes along the ground. And the ball's going fast along the ground. Now in cricket, you're told, bend down, put your knee forward, get your body behind it, and get ready to pick the ball up. He was in a perfect stance. Well, unfortunately, there was a stick placed about 15 centimetres in front of him. I'm not kidding. You wouldn't read about it. The ball's flying in. It hits the stick. It launches up. Smacks him.
Wait, what launched up the ball or the stick?
The ball launches up and the ball hits him smack bang in the mouth in the exact same place where his teeth were, right?
Knocked out the new teeth.
Knocked out the teeth, right? So he's now had 2, and this is 2 and 2 months, right? It finally comes back to cricket, right? And this is the funniest thing I've ever seen, right? He was a good cricketer. He was a decent cricketer. He comes in to bowl, right? Runs in, charges in, and as he bowls, you normally let
Not
go.
a leggy or a...
No, this is pace. You normally let go of the ball probably at the highest point or coming down anyway. That's where you let go of the ball. For some reason, he's just not let go of the ball. And as his arm swings into the ground and your head follows, the ball is bounced directly into the pitch, into his own face. Not knocked out, but lying there, blood streaming out.
Teeth?
Gone. He's gone 3 from 3.
He's not allowed to play cricket ever
The
again.
funniest thing is, and it's just how unlucky he was. The next year, we're at school, we get these brand new footies. Like, oh, guys, we've got these brand new Buffaloes. They were. I'm not kidding. We're all having shots of goal. They're so brand new footies, out of the packet. He's walking behind the goal. Someone yells his name. He turns around, and the perfect timing ever, the ball hits him square on the forehead. You guys are going to think I'm making this up. I promise you. There was 3 of the letters from Buffalo was printed on his forehead. It's like A double F on his forehead. So that's what I call wrong place.
Oh, that is
wrong
good.
time.
That's good from you, Damien.
Now, we're going to be very quick, Dos, because we've got a guest coming in, but I've just found a few on the internet that I'd love to explain wrong place, wrong time. Now, these are often people walking into a situation. I was at a party and walked in on 2 naked guys making out in a tub full of SpaghettiOs.
Weird.
Weird. Next one. Mum eating dad's ass on the futon when school let me out early. Now imagine the euphoric feeling of, I get to leave school early today. And I get to walk home. We're gonna finish up an hour early. And you come home to find your dad bent over, getting his ass
Is that what's
eaten.
funny? Is they're both bent over? 'Cause
Yeah.
if he's down, he's on all fours too.
Imagine your dad's ass getting eaten out. It's disgusting.
Wait, no. She's eating her dad's.
Yes.
Oh.
The dad's ass is getting eaten out by the mum.
No.
So you just demasculated. No, I mean.
Oh, that's horrible. The poor kid.
I'll be quick. Next one. This is hilarious. I was standing behind a fight watching some ratchets go at it in Walmart. So there's two people fighting in Walmart quite often. One of the girls started to do a spear, and the girl she was trying to spear got out of the way. At the last second, she speared me instead. I had 4 broken ribs and a broken ego. A 120-pound girl just kicked my ass.
Oh, shit.
So that's just wrong place.
That's horrible timing.
Wrong place, wrong time. I had to shit super bad for like 20 minutes. In the school bus, I decided to get off the bus and run to a friend's house because I was exploding at this point. So he's gone to a friend's house, opened the door, run, go to the toilet. I run into his bathroom and let loose with the worst shit I've ever had. But then I hear water drop. I pull back the shower curtain and it's his little sister having a bath. I must have traumatized her for life.
Oh, the poor darling.
That's
Wrong place, wrong time.
and this one's not funny. This is quite unbelievable. I walked into a bank and a full-on bank robbery occurred. They did a quick search for weapons and had me join the rest of the customers. But here's where it gets scary. I'm a bodyguard and carried all times, except in Fed buildings and banks, unless on the job. If I'd been found with my weapon, I might have been shot thinking I was a cop.
Far out.
So that's just a bit of
Jeez, he's lucky.
lucky. So,
Well done.
There you go.
Wrong place, wrong time. Now, the reason this segment has come to my attention and why I want us doing it is one thing really, it just gave me it grinded my gears. And I wrote it down and I told you and you went, I think that's got potential there. I think it's got potential there, Wayne. And I saw multiple people over a space of time, and it's happened for years and years, but I've never really thought about it too much until this one day. And there are people that I know personally that do this and it's betting. So sports bet or any type of betting and the multis, and you put together a multi and you might lose by one leg or say you even get up. I can't stand it when people post it on their Instagram story. Like, why are you showing me that? Why do you need to post that? I'm actually I know my footy, but not quite.
But how unlucky I lost by one leg. I'm with you. I hate that. I mean, we've had this discussion. It gets brought up in our group chat a lot.
We've got 2 guys in our group chat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mate. I don't care.
Yeah.
Stop. If there's a leg that's getting ticked, don't tick in the group chat.
Yeah.
Look, boy.
And it's hard. It's like when everybody throws their
care.
multi in. Why? So if I'm following my own multi, I'm just enjoying a night at the footy. I don't give a shit. Oh, he needs this to happen, and we don't need to see.
You don't need to vocalise it and everyone to barrack for your bet. You know.
So this grinded your gears so much.
Grind my gears so much. It made me go. There's got to be plenty more out there of habits that people are doing on Instagram in particular.
Yeah.
That it's just. It should be illegal.
Well, even just before we go to the social media side of things, I was actually thinking when you brought this up, we're trying to think, how do we make this a segment? And it was just things that people think others care about that you don't really. And it's the same. I put it in the same category as a dream. When somebody goes, oh, mate, I had this dream last night, and they tell you all about this dream. Like, at the end of the day, it's not reality. It doesn't matter. So why are you telling me?
But yeah.
Yeah. So
we went to you guys.
Yeah,
we went to the dos&d,
yes, we did.
the dos&d community, and you sent us some of your best. And
we're
the
gonna
question
run
was,
through
what are some social media pet peeves? Essentially, another one of mine, or give me one of yours.
I'm going to save because I reckon they might be in here.
Bit of correlation.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see if they don't come up by this, then I'll voice them. Do you want me to start?
Go for it.
All right. First one is spoiler alerts from a current TV show. Now, I'm lucky I don't really watch TV too much, well, if at all, but that would be very annoying. If you log on to social media and somebody's giving away a spoiler, that would be frustrating, I imagine.
It's only a spoiler if you're watching it not live. So
Yeah.
I
Like Doc's
I'm
giving
sorry,
away the
but
Royal
that's
Rumble.
your fault if you've, taped it on the VHS and you're waiting to get home and then you're
Yeah.
watching it.
You stay off social media.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Or like Dos giving us the Royal Rumble winners, way before their.
Or the surprise entrance.
Yeah,
oh, mate, did you hear? Jeff Hardy's.
we're about to watch it, Dos.
Yeah, exactly.
That has happened in the past.
This is quite funny. Family drama. Tell us the full story. What does that mean?
That is. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Family drama.
What is so family drama?
Well, yeah, that's a very hard one to interpret.
I mean, it's harsh.
But that is true. That kind of goes into what we were talking about yesterday. When people post on their Instagram story, when you post like 10, 30-second videos of, say, a kid running around their whole day, I don't care. I know you think it's cute. I know it's your baby or your son or daughter, but we don't need to see it all, do we?
No, I find that one hard to talk about because there's people that I know that are close to me that do that, and I agree. I still like it.
Jeez, his voice has changed since the last time we spoke about this.
No, it does. It does grind my gears a little bit. It definitely does.
Nice straight bat. But family drama. So I imagine interpreting the family drama. It's yeah. Why would you? I reckon it's when you'd post something almost cryptically saying you're annoyed at someone, but you don't want to say exactly what the issue is. I'm so angry at mum, but you're not saying the reason why. It seems very teenagery.
Very. Strava activities. This is this is controversial. If people want to see it, they'll follow you on Strava.
I like it. I don't care. I don't care that you ran 10 kilometers today or 21 kilometers. I don't care. I don't care that you were active today. You don't need to put on your Instagram story.
What if you're a running influencer and have
that's different.
Yeah, that's what I think.
But but I'm thinking this relates to everyday people that I just went for my 5K run in the morning. Cool.
Or when Dos hadn't been to the gym in a while and all of a sudden he goes back and then he posts a story,
yeah.
That's not allowed.
Now this one, I actually think this is a great one. When somebody has to let the world know that they're starting a new job. We know your work, get over it. Now, I love this. I think no one gives a fuck what people do. Like, I'm sorry, if you work a boring office job, not boring, if you work an office job or you work something, why do you need to post that you're working there?
I'm not seeing many of those though.
I've seen them over
like
the years.
LinkedIn, yeah.
Well, LinkedIn's different. That's where you go and post it.
Okay, that's your forum.
That's your forum.
No Instagram, no Facebook.
Yeah.
Go to LinkedIn. Let your it's a more professional environment.
Yeah, I'm just at work today. Okay, so is everybody else.
I like this one. This is gonna ruffle some feathers actually, I reckon.
Go on.
Gender reveals. What do you reckon?
I actually don't mind seeing a gender reveal if it's creative. Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's overdone, I don't like I don't like baby content.
But you love baby puppy content or baby dog content.
Do I?
Oh, you love dogs?
Yeah. Very different. But yeah, gender reveals. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, not sure. Not sure. Doesn't grind my gears too much. If they're creative, I quite like it.
Congratulations, firstly.
What about a step-by-step week, progression of a pregnancy? Do we care that much, or is it keep us informed every month or every 3 months?
That doesn't happen because it just doesn't. But
what? You don't see people saying 30 weeks, 31 weeks, 32 weeks, 33 weeks, 34. Every week they're posting another photo.
Not that much.
I see it a lot.
Yeah, trimesters. That's a very, that's a good word. Gender reveals, not a. If I see him and someone I know, I like seeing it, but it's I don't know. It's not something I think needs to be pushed too much.
I think this is a good one. Selling courses. I think this is a good one. When you're flogging,
I went through that phase.
When you're looking down the barrel of your iPhone and you're flogging some multi-level marketing, I think that's a bit icky.
What does that make you think of when you think
desperation?
No. Like, are there people that you've seen sell things? No, not people we know necessarily, but like, does it give you a flashback to anyone in particular? Or a creator or someone?
No, not a creator. It reminds me of people that are like, they've got, I say this in the greatest respect, by the way. I hope this doesn't come across rude, but they have maybe 500 followers and they're trying to sell something to those 500 followers, which could be just friends and family, which is, but talking about how their life's changed and you can too. And I think it's a bit shit.
I don't necessarily have too much. I don't have too much against it, to be honest, because, well,
should you be selling to your audience though if you're not a brand or you're not a?
It depends. It depends what you're selling. I think everyone has
everyone has their own experience, and my experience is different to yours. Can I leverage that and use it and sell, whether it's marketing or whether it's coaching
Vitamin or something.
Vitamin. But what I don't like the, I'm a part of this water, this filtered water, and I'm part of this pyramid scheme where if I sell a certain amount of these water canisters,
That's
have
exactly
you
what
seen
this
these?
is. Yeah, I know, 100%. That's exactly what this is, I think.
And people that I actually feel sorry for the people that are involved, like selling them like on behalf of the bigger company, because they're so, just so narrow-minded, and they can't see the bullshit.
And the stories typically start with, I just wanted to jump on here to say, and then
I've a few years ago I went through a phase where I was doing some coaching and stuff, and I had a few clients and it was good, and I was making that content. But I look back now and I go, I don't know. I definitely see merit in both. I think it's good, but I also think there's the other side of it, which is the nutrimetics, the herbal remedies, what's the really famous Tupperware? All these people that are doing those. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Well, the next one was selling hair care products or water. So that kind of goes into, that kind of falls into that trap. That's kind of how I interpret it anyway. I think this is a good one too. It's not I just find this a bit, reposting of quotes. When you just post a quote of the day.
I'm a quote lover.
Yeah.
I love seeing a quote repost, actually.
One thing I actually...
If you're posting a quote, I'm all about it.
Not too regularly, says Bryce. I think it's funny with this because one thing you asked me what grinded my gears, this really grinds my gears, is when people use their social media and get really nasty about political stuff, and they write, I know I have a couple friends or people I know that do this, where they put in their story, if you don't agree, you are this, you are like it. And I'm like, I always just feel like saying, mate, if you actually want to get your point across, or you want to have a conversation with someone, accusing people of being something because they don't agree with you is not the way to go. So that's a big grind of my gears.
And then this is a strong point of view, actually, very strong. Selfies epitomize narcissistic tendencies. Why do people think everyone else wants to see daily pictures of themselves? Infuriates me that people are so arrogant.
That's a strong statement. Selfies, yeah. Does that annoy you?
Not really.
No, it doesn't annoy me too
I
much.
think this person's... I think they're actually meeting those kind of people on social media. They're taking the photos of the coffee every morning, or I'm going to pick up, my grandson or my son. I don't know if a grandmother's posting much about that. Or, I'm taking the dog for a walk. Yeah. I've just cooked myself a lasagna. These types of things.
See, I'm not a big fan of the day in the life stuff when it's the same thing every day, and it's just, I got up and I had a coffee and I did this, but it's the same thing. And then the next day or the next week, it's the exact same, and then the exact same, and the exact
same. I don't mind like some of them, especially because because today's attention span is so small, the content needs to be good. So if someone's doing a day in the life vlog and it's not overly well done, I'm like, I'm not going to watch it.
But if it's interesting, so it's like they all seem to be the same. And it's always like you pick a day where you get up early, you have a healthy breakfast, you have your coffee, then you go to the gym, and it's like the same angles, and it's just rinse and repeat. If you're doing something that's actually different or unique, I've
got nothing too much against people like selfies. I don't think there's anything wrong with selfies, but I think it's rinsed. Like if it's rinsed and repeated, like you said, if it's done every day over and over and it's the same stuff, well then if I'm following, I'm kind of going, I get the gist. I know your routine back to front. I know what time you take a piss. I know,
You don't need to see it over and over.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's always the same. It's like the next person's is the exact same. I'm like, if you do something really different, or you're having a unique day or doing something cool, it's different. But
got anything else?
What about people that post pictures of just their dinner every night?
Well, that's kind of comes into that same category, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Is that repetitiveness?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of basic mundane tasks. Is that all you got?
Yeah. You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else irks me? There was one other thing actually. Oh no, we did touch on that, and someone wrote about it. I think it was.
Which one?
Mine was the kids thing as well.
Oh yeah. Jeez, you took a very different stance.
I know.
Dos sat on the fence on almost every single
No,
one of
I
those.
didn't.
I'm joking.
No, I went the other way for some of them.
Did you?
Yeah, as in like I was for them.
Yeah, you backed him up. What about like what about just a good old fashioned social media whinge? That irks me, and I know people that are very guilty of it. It's more of a Facebook thing. But you write a status just whinging. I'm like, it doesn't. It's just not. No one cares.
One thing I'm not going to say I have a strong opinion on it, but I do sometimes wonder, why do we do this? Like, why have we been so brainwashed to do this? But when it's someone's birthday, why do we feel like obliged that we need to post? Like, why do you need to post a story or a photo of that friend or family member and say, happy birthday, D, all the best?
Hoping to get the repost so they get the followers.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
I would say for a girlfriend, it's probably necessary.
No, I disagree.
But when it's there's actually someone I know that, you know, when say relatives passed away, and there's been plenty of relatives that have passed on. It's every anniversary and every birthday of every one of those people.
The sympathy post.
I had to mute because, mate, every day on Facebook, if someone had passed, as in it was an anniversary.
Not playing that again. It's depressing.
Like it was an anniversary or that person's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy heavenly birthday, Auntie Jude.
Yeah. That's not how it works.
I
I don't like this sympathy. Poor me. I'm having, just don't put it to social media.
Go and get a journal.
Yeah.
Write a bit in it. Pray. That's a good way to if you feel like that's your way to connect with that person. I don't know.
What about if somebody passes away and then the person that passed away, their social media account gets taken over by family members?
I haven't seen that too often.
But have you seen it before?
No.
Oh.
Have you?
Yes. Anyway, I'm sure there's many more. If you do think of any, please write in and let us know. I like to clear the air like this. So basically, when we started Uncut this morning, it was probably 10 hours ago. We got through most of our segments. We then did 3 interviews, and we've had to finish Uncut at the very end of the day. And now we're all a little bit tired. I'm very hungry.
Peckish.
You
were going to say...
Yes. I realise I just want to get out of here and not have to cut and restart. But
great
another
episode.
great Uncut, Dos.
Another great episode.
Over 250 times you and I have graced the airwaves with individual episodes now.
Mate, we deserve a cold heart. A heart. What's the term?
Don't know. We deserve a what?
I was going to say a nice cold
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Coca-Cola.
Probably even worse. Not worse, but not great. Glass of water.
I'm nearly 3 months, no alcohol, by the way.
Well done. Well done.
Nearly halfway. So
yeah. It's really good.
Your punishment will be...
Oh, yeah. Have you thought of that?
I have. I think I mentioned it to you.
Singing?
Yeah. You're going to sing a whole song.
On the show?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
So if I don't, I sing a whole song. If I do...
I sing a whole song?
Yeah, that's what my punishment was going to be. Okay. And you have to try your hardest.
That's going to be so bad. That's so cringe.
Yeah.
I will do it because that's what I do for you guys. Guys, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. If you haven't given us a review, please review us. It's not hard. Just click that 5-star. If you haven't watched us on YouTube, go over there, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Always engage with our social medias. Anything else, Dos?
We'd love to know if people want the video uploaded to Spotify as well. I've been thinking about that recently. We need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Ciao Min.
Ciao Min.